Thank you for joining us here on another episode of CYC Guy Talk. Blessed and privileged to be with my brothers to talk about a topic you can determine whether it's light, whether it's heavy. It depends on, really how you make of it. So I'll put it out there. It's pornography. Porn. We're going to talk about it, discuss it, see how it affects our life. And I guess I'll just throw out the question out to you. What are, if any, benefits to pornography?
It's like the instant pleasure that you get from it. Like,
Benefits. Instant pleasure.
That's one of the few benefits that comes with it, yes.
Okay. So instant gratification. All right. Bashoy over here. What are, if any, benefits to pornography?
I mean, I could see that as like a short-term, instant gratification. But I mean, on the long run, you're only hurting yourself. I mean, I don't see many benefits.
So no benefits. Interesting. In the back.
I actually find pornography not to be entertaining at all. I don't need to see other male reproductive organs at all. I don't find this to be attractive.
So you're referring to gay porn?
Like, no, it's not even gay porn. It's like, even in straight porn, I mean, there's another guy in it. You're supposed to visualize yourself in it. Like, I can't do that. I don't find that to be interesting. Like, I just don't want to watch it. It's not interesting.
But they do have pornography, just so you know, where it's
Only women.
one woman.
Yeah, it's one woman, like...
Two women.
Yeah, well, I don't look this stuff up, so I wouldn't know.
No, okay. All right. No, I appreciate that. We got a lot of different experiences and knowledge of what pornography is, so that's good. I think that you said, and the majority of the opinions of us, of the three gentlemen here, is that there really aren't that many benefits because even instant gratification, it's a benefit is more something that will add to our life. Instant gratification is more of a pleasure as opposed to a benefit, but I want to ask you all, and if anyone really has an answer to this, well, maybe you can say something because you're not interested in it, but the disadvantages or side effects of porn.
Well, it's not that I'm disinterested in it. I'm disinterested in it now. I used to be addicted to it.
Okay.
And then at one point I just found it to be sickening and stopped watching.
Oh, okay, great. We're going to talk about that, God willing, but good.
I feel like the disadvantages to it is, first of all, addiction. I mean, I used to spend maybe about 2 hours staring at it, then I'd go do the dirty in the bathroom. Besides that, I mean, like, just the fact that a lot of those sites cost money. I've never paid for them, but for people who are, like, hardcore addicted, it starts taking money out of their wallet just to see these stupid people doing stupid things. So, like, I don't really see any benefits in it. I feel like almost all of it is disadvantages.
Remember, that was the first question. This is Guy Talk, where we keep it real and we make it efficient. A productive time of our
disadvantages.
Audience.
I named
the question
two.
Is, disadvantages you did. Beautiful. Appreciate it. Love it. Love you. Bashoy.
You're hurting yourself all around, generally. I mean, you see a lot of, strange positions, strange things going on in the porn that, like, when you finally get married, I mean, she won't be able to do that. I mean,
So what is it?
What
does it do?
I mean, it sets the bar high for a woman. I mean, no woman realistically can do what you see. I mean, just the variety, the amount of women that are available, I mean, and no woman is perfect.
Could you say that it distorts, that pornography distorts the actual real beauty and the sanctity of sex and marriage?
Yeah.
Elaborate on that for us, Athletic.
Porn is just like two people that are directed by a certain person to do certain actions that, like, I don't know if it's the guy's creative or what, but it's just stuff that comes out of nowhere. And if you're looking for, like, a pure lady, like, goes to church and understands, like, has a good relationship with God and everything, I think what you want to have is, like, the pure sex that God allows. You don't want to be, like, all exotic and fruity in the bedroom. You just want to be just like...
But you know what? I think that it's not like you don't want to, I mean, it's not that you don't want to be creative and really want to take this gift that God has given us as a people to explore with our wives and, have a blessing of a time with it. But I think it's what it makes us view women as...
And we're just using like animals.
Yeah, like the instant gratification that you were talking about before. Like, let me get what I want. Yeah, and Abuna Michael from St. Mary San Antonio's Coptic Orthodox Church of Queens had mentioned to a group of youth something great. He said that sex is beautiful, but within marriage, sex can become a problem because the man will just want to take the sex from his wife without, like, even, it's like taking dinner, like an animal. And within that, it can really, distort the relationship. So let me just give you a recap of some of the beautiful things that can help all of us and all of you get a better understanding of some of the disadvantages of porn that we all go through. We have Mina Tawfiq really said that, the addiction. We have Bishoy who really touched upon the, getting involved and, what did he say again?
So that it distorts the image.
Distorts the view of the women. And you had mentioned, say it again. Did you even mention anything?
He's at a loss for words.
Yeah. Because when I talk, sometimes it's just...
Fruity.
Yeah, fruity. Something about being
fruity.
And we just... never mind. He said something...
I got what he's saying. Like, he's saying, like, porn makes sex look like it's a game instead of, like, an interaction.
It's animalistic.
Animalistic, like barbaric. Like you have some barbaric
Like you're like a
beast,
Mongolian
a Mongolian.
Mongolian.
Addiction,
Mongolian.
Image, Mongolian. Okay? So, let me... do you have anything else?
Something.
Because this is something we're going through, guys. So anything else that we'd like to say about some side effects, some disadvantages to porn? Because there's a lot, guys.
Well,
Let's touch it. Let's touch it. Go.
addiction to pornography leads to addiction to masturbation. I mean, that's almost a
All right,
given.
addiction. Boom. Covers addiction.
Okay,
this,
let's see what
that.
else.
Let's do it. Next.
It's a lot of idle time.
Idle time?
Because you're supposed to be doing other things, like you'd be reading the Bible, or not even like spiritual things,
taking
like
your
other
time.
things. Yeah, it just steals your
Stripping
time.
Stripping away your time. Excellent. For sure. Everyone's going to give a couple more because there's a lot. We all going. Excellent. Stripping away time management. Time killer. I like that. It's a great one.
The other thing, I mean, it's important to note what you're promoting when you're watching this porn. I mean, you're ruining these girls' lives. These girls, they're committing adultery on screen.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Most of them have been probably traumatized when they were young or something like that. You're promoting the destruction of the lives of young women.
Very interesting. And so you said they might have had a situation when they were growing up.
I was watching a show that said most of the porn stars around have either been abused as a child or just had absolutely nowhere else to go.
So let me ask you something as a side effect of porn. How does it? And this will maybe give you some ideas for some other things. But what maybe psychological side effects are as a consequence of porn?
Like, you always, if you become addicted or you start to watch it constantly, it's gonna be like, us men visualize things a lot, so it's gonna be sticking in our mind all the time. And whenever our friends say anything, we're gonna be thinking of it in a perverted, or let's say like.
So we're gonna automatically twist something.
You're just gonna twist everything into the sexual way that pleases your desire. So it's gonna mess up your view of life.
What's that expression?
Overall.
Yeah, like.
Corrupt.
Oh, man.
Interior.
You guys are very philosophical. I'm talking about. Oh, that's what she said.
Oh,
That's
that's
an expression that was phrased from a television show that allows people to take something, nice and ordinary and automatically twist it into something scandalous, pornographic, sexual.
You want me to give you an example?
No,
We are
no,
not
no.
condoning this on the CYC. We don't like this type of talk.
We look bad.
But anyway, the whole point is, you're absolutely right. Another thing is that our minds can distort things. What else, though? Psychologically, though? Come on. Porn. You always, let's say you got a situation, you got somebody, right? He goes home every day, He's a junior in high school, maybe a senior in high school, got a lot to do, does work, trying to get to college. But you know what? He runs home, gets the porn on. He has maybe a different type of porn that he's interested in watching on Thursday. And on Friday, he wants to try this one out. And then he has acts on it with masturbation. What are maybe the psychological consequences may occur for him in the long run?
I think once you start watching porn a lot, because it sticks in your...
This specific man, this young gentleman.
Yeah, because he's watching porn so often.
Yeah.
I mean, when he walks down and he's thinking about all this porn, I'm sure, because he's running home to see it, so it's definitely on his mind. So when he's in school, in college, he sees that cute girl sitting down in the desk, and he's just bored, because the professor can't give a lesson, something like that, and he's just bored. So he looks at that girl and he's like, I wonder what I could do with her. I wonder if she was in that movie with me.
So that's an obstacle.
Yeah,
now we're going to talk about those in a second. I'm talking about psychological situations from long-term porn viewing. But I want you to hold on to that, because we're going to get into that in a second. Go ahead.
You see women, like, even like your sisters, fellows in the church, like, you see them often as like a piece of meat, like, something.
Commodities, right?
Yeah,
commodities.
I mean, she has what I want, and,
we touched on that. Guys, I'm looking for something. Bam!
Boom.
Thank you. That's what I was talking about. I appreciate this. Guys, we always be running our minds. Beautiful. But that's one thing that's something we have to consider. If you got a situation where a guy cannot wait to go home and his only source of happiness, his source of joy is not in a football fellowship situation where he's with his friends or at church or just hanging out with his family. No, it's when he's alone in solitude in front of a computer screen and getting gratification from something, and then feeling bad. Maybe it gets to a point where he doesn't feel bad anymore because it's accustomed to his life. It can certainly lead to depression. It can certainly lead to anxieties, but also something very interesting. And we're here, if you notice the nice fireplace, and the fire might be going down a little bit, but it was a lot more before. We are in a beautiful retreat center for the high school retreat for the St. Mary San Antonio's youth here, and we're talking really. This is a big issue in our hearts here, purity and really being minded of these things. And one of the facts that really was brought up was that it can lead to sexual, you have a deficiency when it comes to intimacy, a fear of intimacy. Like in the long term, when you're with your wife, you can actually maybe, psychologically affect your impotence and not really can even do it the right way. You can only get aroused as a male by watching it on the television. So it's something scary to know that this can turn up into a long-term thing. So I really appreciate, there's so much more to cover on this topic, but we will definitely, God willing, approach this in our next episode. So hang tight, and please continue to send us your requests, your feedback to the email address. And again, Facebook page is coming soon. And until next time, guys. Thank you for watching CYC Guy Talk. God bless.